Good evening. Welcome to our February 23rd. Is this actually the 24th? I know, with the snow days, now I'm all, yes. Meeting. Thanks for coming out a couple days later or a day later. We are going to start with Pledge of Allegiance. If you can, please stand to salute our flag and nation, and stay standing for a moment of personal reflection for those you hold in your heart and also your thoughts that you hold in your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ms. Lawful, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Hall.
Here.
Councilman McAvoy.
Here.
Councilman Wendell.
Here.
Councilwoman Winston.
Here.
And Council President Zimbicki.
Here.
Also present, Mayor Brad Cohen.
Here.
Administrator Joseph Cusculo.
Here.
And Township Attorney Anthony Iacoca.
Here.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required under Chapter 231, Public Law, 1975, by specifying the time, date, location, and to the extent known, the agenda, by posting a copy on the bulletin board located in the main lobby of the East Brunswick Municipal Building, providing a copy to the Home News Tribune and the Asbury Park Press newspapers, posting a copy on the Township's website, and by filing a copy in the office of the Township Clerk, which will be entered into the minutes.
Thank you. May I have a motion to adopt the February 9th minutes?
So moved.
And second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call?
Councilman Bahal,
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy,
Yes.
Councilman Wendell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston.
Yes.
And Council President Zimbicki.
Yes. All right, we're going to start tonight with we have two presentations tonight. Our first presentation is going to be from our mayor on the state of the township. Thank you, Mayor.
Good evening, everybody. Council members, residents of the public, and those who are invested in East Brunswick. Welcome to the 2026 State of the Township Address for the Township of East Brunswick. I'm going to start, as most people do, with the economy. Wasn't it James Carville said, it's the economy, stupid. So we're going to talk about money from the beginning. As I take a tour of a lot of the different township departments that have given me this information, feel free to look on the township website, as each one of the department heads have put up summaries of what's gone on in the department for the past year and their plans for 2026, from which the highlights are in this discussion tonight. Talking about money, our tax assessor this past year was able to tell us that we are about 16,000 residential units in the township, 13 apartment complexes, 625 commercial businesses, and 106 industrial businesses. We remain an overwhelmingly residential community. In this past year, there were 245 new assessments that were added to the township's tax rolls, bringing in an additional $7.8 million in new ratables. They processed 822 new deeds, and a topic that we typically review here on township council meetings is about discussing individuals who have been veterans who are constituted a disabled status, which allows them to not pay property taxes. That's a process that's very difficult to get through, but once it's achieved, we put that and take the taxes off the books, just so that people have an idea the flavor and the amount of money we're talking about with this. For the last year, despite all the times we hear about this, this amounted to $165,000 in less revenue, which is a de minimis amount on our total taxes. Our last year, there were 135 tax appeals. That is a tick up from what it had been over the past couple of years, where for the last 3 years, it averaged somewhere around 40 to 42 tax appeals per year. In our finance department, we continue to maintain a AA+ rating by Moody's. This is in large part due to our cash management program, our very high collection ratio, low debt ratio. We maintain and build healthy reserves, and we have healthy cash balances, and the market recognizes that. And the ability to have a high rating allows us to borrow money at much lower rates than you could possibly get on the market. As an example, the shared service agreement that we entered into with the school board last year was somewhere around a 3.3% bond, which is unheard of, and that's only because of our great tax rating. And speaking of shared services, we continue to have shared services with the fire departments in East Brunswick, all three, and the Board of Education. Township debt, exclusive of the Board of Education and Fire Department, stands at $96 million, which includes $20 million of approved but not yet issued debt, primarily for the ice rink. That is a net increase of $10 million, and it still keeps us at an extraordinarily low debt ratio. By township debt limits are allowed to be as high as 3.5% of assessed property value. Ours stands at well under 1% of the total permitted. In terms of economic development for the township, we saw 80 new businesses come into town in 2025 with a variety of restaurants all through a bunch of different sectors, from diverse ethnicities to diners to coffee shops, fast food, ice cream. We also remain a very important part of a life science hub in this general region, which sees the home to arguably the largest number of life science, biotechnology, cell and gene research, photonics, personal care products, all within this region, and East Brunswick is certainly one among many towns in this region that can call companies such as that home. These are high-paying jobs, and the workforce that supports those industries are right here. We also saw 20 businesses expand in the township, and we remain a large and diverse medical corridor. We joke about the Miracle Mile on Cranberry Road, but it's home to a ton of healthcare, life science-related industries, not the least of which is supported by the fact that we have 3 hospital systems on each side of Route 18, Hackensack Meridian on the south and Robert Wood Johnson and St. Peter's to the north in New Brunswick. In 2026, we should be seeing Boness, which will be the Italian restaurant opening up in Legacy. Brunswick Square Mall will have all of its work done. The people who have signed contracts have all done so with the proviso that the mall would have the space available by holiday season of this year. And holiday season is not a week before Christmas. It usually starts in the fall. So they are on high speed to get that work done. We will also see the opening of the last phase of the Legacy project, and Vermella Phase 1 should open up this summer. Our Chamber of Commerce saw 54 new members. There are now over 300 members in our regional chamber. We have a business and economic growth advisory group who have been responsible for programs such as the spring and summer markets. They've been responsible for sponsoring public events and programs that help support business, programs such as those brought by the Economic Development Authority, the SBLA, and Middlesex County, all of which provide loans and grants to small businesses. They're also in the Economic Development Zone responsible for our Restaurant Week, and they've helped put us as a film-ready township, meaning that we are and have adopted ordinances that will allow the film industry which is growing very rapidly here in New Jersey, to come and film in East Brunswick. We actually had one for a part of a movie that was done at the Chateau a couple of months ago. Our police department has a very long report that was given to us by Chief Frank Lasacco. That will be up on the township's website and the police department website for those of you to review. That is just too much in there for me to bring light to all of that here today. But suffice to say that in the past year, there were almost 80,000 calls to the police department, vehicle stops, over 15,000, which is an almost 57% increase over the year before, and motor vehicle accidents are actually down 9%. In 2025, we had 6 officers retired. There were 9 new officers hired. Additionally, in 2025, the police department achieved re-accreditation with the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police. The first time that accreditation was achieved was in 2019. It's a 3-year accreditation. It was reaccredited in 2022, and this year in 2025, bringing us to being one of only 12% of police departments that have that distinction. Our patrol units stopped over 80,000 entries. These included motor vehicle accidents, burglaries, first aid, violent and nonviolent crimes. We're investing and continue to invest in a drone program. We believe very strongly that technology, drones, AI, all can help expand the reach of the police department. So this year we will be training more people to run the drone program and getting in new drones, which could be used both for crime instances and first responder issues. The last thing I'll mention about that is the increased and continued effort on training. I'm sure many of you are aware, the news media has seemed to concentrate on a lot of incidences going on across the country in regards to law enforcement in the form of ICE and border control in ways that point out the obvious, which is that good policing requires training. And training is something that you can't do in a couple of hours. Our police department logged in over 6,100 hours in training this past year, which, based on the number of officers we have, would amount to over 60 hours per person. Our Department of Aging saw a census of 133 people per day, with 375 new members, which is a record for the department. Our EB Youth Council works with our seniors. They make available leaf raking programs and, believe it or not, snow removal programs for seniors who are unable to do that themselves. We continue to have programs that work with our Board of Education on intergenerational type of programs, so it's not uncommon to see seniors in the school and to see kids in the senior center. All good programs. They served over 1,000 rides were given this year to seniors to get to medical appointments. There were over 10,000 home-delivered meals. And finally, the department celebrated its 50th anniversary here in East Brunswick, so we wish them a wonderful half-century anniversary. Our Department of Public Works has obviously been worked to the bone the last couple of days, especially with the last 2 snowstorms. And despite some complaints, which we get all the time regarding snow, these were 2 extraordinary snowstorms. One that left a lot of snow and, of course, left us with 2 weeks in freezing temperatures that didn't allow that snow to clear. This past snowstorm this week dumped almost 2 feet of snow. And that, I don't believe we've had a snowstorm like that in over a decade, probably even more. So I ask residents to be patient. This is not something we've seen that often. It was a long snowstorm that lasted many hours, and the staff is very limited in the number of hours they could do without taking rests, otherwise it's dangerous to them. And on top of all that snow, there were downed trees, making it very difficult to get to places. So by 24 hours from the time the storm had ended, all of the roads had been attended to. So I think we should give a good, happy, and healthy thank you to them for doing all that work. So in addition to that work, they've renovated our Revenue Department offices this past year. They have laid about 1,600 tons of asphalt in terms of road repairs and water main breaks over the past year. And we are now in the 2nd year of our 5-year IWS refuse contract. And while it was a little slow going in the beginning, but I would think most people at this point have been overwhelmingly happy with the service that we have this year and with the new contract that we've had for refuse and the removal of recycling. They also worked with our Department of Department of Transportation, helping with the water main replacement project that was a large part of the Route 18 work that everybody in town would love to see done. That water work was a $18 million project that, if it was done at the time of the construction, added a year to construction, but the state gave us half the money towards doing it. So that's kind of a no-brainer. Otherwise, you would see a massive increase in your water rates and water charges. So we took that, and we took the fact that we'll take an extra year, but they worked with them on that. There were 32 water main breaks in 2025. If any of you have been watching the alarms going off this past year, I think this year we are probably going to be beyond that. They were awarded a contract for the Kingswood Pump Station, which will allow us to convert the Community Arts Center from septic to sewer. They inspected 33 miles of sewer and video inspected 5 miles, so that's a lot of work for one department. Our East Brunswick TV produced 325 different productions, 490 unique videos, and their social media pages saw over 750,000 views. Some of them were for programs such as the program I do with Greg T., The Buzz About East Brunswick. There's a sustainability program called Pathways to Greener Living, and the Arts Coalition does a EB Subtract. So all these great programs they've been part of, and they work in conjunction in many times with our Human Relations Council, Chamber of Commerce, Playhouse 22, the Arts Commission, Clergy Council, and the Board of Ed to put really interesting programs out and to work uniquely with them to make sure that the public has an opportunity to see some of the things that they might not have otherwise been able to get out and see. The East Brunswick Public Library this past year really concentrated on inclusivity as their mantra and mission. Some of the programs that they came up with to reach that goal included a memory cafe for adults with early stage dementia. They have a Next Chapter, which is a book club for anyone in the neurodivergent adult community. They have now sensory-friendly library hours for both children, teens, and adults with autism. They have caregiver programs, Rainbow Reads, which is a LGBTQ plus reading group, and they have technical assistance hours for seniors who need help with problems on their mobile devices. Also worked very much on a sustainability initiative, providing programs such as the Repair Cafe, the Craft Supply Swap, and they received for that work the 2025 Environmental Achievement Award. Their Just for the Health of It program, which is now years in production and has gotten great reviews and is well known across the state, concentrated for the most part in conjunction with the idea of inclusivity on mental health. They have a social intern working with us, and they had teen and tween stress nights, which connected students with parents with mental health professionals and resources. Our IT department, which I always call the connective tissue for the entire East Brunswick organization, and I'm going to probably give a few things of what they've done because, frankly, when they write all the things they've done, I have no idea what half that stuff is. So I would sound like a fool, but believe me, they are very, very active and very busy, and I don't know where they rest. They enhanced the voice system for our community response unit with the police. They worked on the pump station hard drive and wired our new East Brunswick Ice Arena. They deployed the East Brunswick Recreation mobile app, implemented CrowdStrike, which is a security system for all of our township accounts. And if anybody doesn't know how important that is, read the news a couple of weeks ago about what just happened in our neighboring township of Spotswood. Security it can't be overemphasized, right, Joe? That's right. Planning and engineering, we continue to work on our pavement improvement program. We've been doing that since I've been mayor. This is now at least the 10th year. We repaved about 33 local roads and the entire senior center parking lot. We also received a transportation trust fund grant to work on Village Road, which was done this past year. We also worked on getting easement acquisitions for the corner of Ruse Lane and Old Bridge Turnpike, which will, in 2026, get a new traffic signal. Again, they worked on water projects on Route 18 with DPW, and also did a lot of the help work with a lot of the water main repairs on Bernard Road, Renee Road, and Lake Ave. They worked with Parks and Rec on fixing and repaving the tennis courts at Pine Ridge Park. And we also received this past year a $1.5 million grant from the state of New Jersey to put a duplicate line, main water line, under Route 1. As many people know, the main water line that comes into East Brunswick comes from the New Brunswick side of Route 1, underneath Riders Lane, underneath Route 1, onto Riders Lane, and then into East Brunswick. From there, it gets diverted. We also sell water to Spotswood, to South River, and to Helmetta. And we've had two main breaks on that line in the last 10 years. One was on our side, on Riders Lane, and then recently, the last couple of years, there was a main one on the New Brunswick side, but it's our line. If that were to happen under Route 1, which could happen, the line is over 60 years old, that would basically shut down Route 1. And the township and our water department would be responsible for the cost of that entire repair and mitigate damages for having to shut down Route 1. So that's a non-starter for us. So we will be looking to put a duplicate line underneath Route 1 to replace the 60-year-old pipe that's there. And the $1.5 million, while it is unlikely to cover the full cost, is a big head start on that major project. We also saw $166 million in new construction in the township over the past year, yielding us $3.1 million in fees. Our housing corporation continues to help affordable housing obligations to the township by addressing those issues and keeping the number of units that Fair Share Housing gives to East Brunswick at a reasonable and relatively low number compared to similarly sized townships in the state. There's about $2.8 million in their fund balance, and that will be used to help purchase additional affording housing units. Big project this year, as everybody knows, was the East Brunswick Ice Arena. That was a major project that was done in conjunction with the Planning and Engineering Department, Parks and Recreation, the Township, and of course, all of our contractors. The bid was separated. Terminal construction did all the construction short of the ice. That was a $26 million cost for that. Ice Builders was the ice contractor responsible for the ice, which is a highly specialized skill. That was about $3.8 million, and we put a solar roof on. The total cost comes out to somewhere between $33 and $34 million, which is far short of the $40 million which we were estimating at the very beginning of the project. So thrilled to have come in under budget. Grand opening for the rink will be on March 22nd, so look for ads on that. We will be investing $2.5 million in pavement management program for this year. We will also, now that we've got the easement rights, look at putting the traffic signal in at Ruse and Old Bridge Turnpike. We will be reconstructing the police parking lot, which is long overdue. And we got several years ago $2 million in state grants to help an expansion project for the Community Arts Center. That money will be going to the amphitheater expansion or the outdoor stage area, which will include, in addition to the stage, new lighting, new sound system, stadium type of seating, and much an area for a pit band in front so that it could be used for many more things than what it's used for right now. That will likely not start until the fall. Our Parks and Recreation Department, professional staff, all received 7 new certifications, which all came from local, state, and national conferences, which helps them and allows us to really be seen as the best in class among our Parks and Recs department. Some of the projects they did this year, they worked on Lenape, which is going to finish up this year. It will include a neurodivergent park, a new basketball and tennis courts, which are all being repaired, and a whole repaving of the lot. The Community Arts Center, we already spoke about that expansion. We saw this past year renovations at Country Lane Park and Welsh Park. And we saw them do a huge number of new programs. They're always coming up with something new. So some of the new programs that they did for this year was the Love Bug Dance, the Mother's Day Tea, the Food Truck-a-Palooza, and Puzzle Wars, on top of the regular programs, which include things that we're accustomed to, such as East Brunswick Day, 4th of July, Fly a Kite, and the Winter Wonderland. Some new programs they're also looking to do for next year include flag rugby, cooking classes, and crochet. The DAISY program raised over $62,000 this year in fundraising, making them for the first time in their history self-sustaining, which is a huge success and a huge achievement. Our Youth Council has 422 members, logging in 9,300 hours. The day camps saw 719 campers this year, and those included in our summer theater program. Crystal Springs saw 43,000 visitors this past year, and so it continues to grow each year. The big project, as I mentioned earlier, was the East Brunswick Ice Arena, and considering that this past week we saw both the men's and the women's ice hockey teams win gold at the Olympics this year, I don't think it could come at a more timely time, with the men's goal being made, the gold goal by Jack Hughes, a member of the New Jersey Devils. And if anybody's been to Legacy, you will see that the names of the streets in Legacy, which is borders the rink, bear the names of the 5 New Jersey Devils players whose numbers have been retired. So there's a Devils theme here, and when we have them, and when we open up on the 22nd, the team is actually going to be coming out working with Learn to Skate programs and helping provide equipment for free to help folks and young kids get into the sport. So we can't wait for that to happen. But a big thank you to Keith Kipp and Mike Reisner, Joe Crisculo, and all of our professionals for getting that job done under budget and earlier than it was expected to open, and done with union labor. It was local jobs, feeding the local economy, and we're real proud of that. The last thing I want to mention is our relationship with the Board of Education. As many of you know, the Board of Education is a completely separate group than the Township. And while we collect tax dollars for the Board of Ed, for the county, for the fire departments, that money is sent to them. They manage it themselves. It is up to the public to elect Board of Education representatives to act in their behalf. We'll make no mistake or hide the fact that there's been some issues over the past, but with a new superintendent in place, new board president, we are in a good place. And I'm proud to say that we are in a good working relationship with the Board of Education. We have shared services, just recently signed an agreement, this council and the Board of Ed, for the use of the rink for the East Brunswick combined high school program, hockey program. We have our summer camp busing managed with and use of the buses and the bus drivers that are part of the school, so that arrangement is, again, an example of how we're working together. We're working together on trying to reduce the friction over the use of facilities, both at the school and at the township, to try to make it something that's a lot easier for folks to use, less expensive, and available to the public who, at the end of the day, have paid for all of those facilities. The topic of pilot programs on township redevelopment projects has come up in the past. Everyone should know that pilot money that comes into the township, if given to the schools, can only be done for capital projects. It cannot go into their general fund. And the township, as some of those funds come in, is already making plans to contribute back to the school. Last year, or this past, 2025, we did redid the parking lot at Warnsdorfer Elementary School. For 2026, 2027, we're looking to use some of our pilot money to help them put a brand-new snack bar at the football field that's long overdue for repairs, and put outdoor bathrooms at the site so that folks don't need to go into the schools to use the bathrooms. And then finally, if we stick to that schedule and pilot money continues to come in at the rate we're hoping, by 2027, we are going to take some of our money that was given to us through state grant to put a enclosed pool, which we had originally thought we would do at Crystal Springs. But what we're thinking is a more useful location for that would be something that's shared with the high school and on the high school property. So that's a to-be-determined use, but it makes more sense for that to be something that school uses when school's in session, and when they're not using it, that folks in the township could use it, as opposed to the waste and cost of doing two separate indoor pools. And I think that makes more sense. And frankly, I don't believe any child should finish East Brunswick Public Schools without knowing how to swim. To me, we've seen in the past couple of years some unfortunate drownings here in East Brunswick, and that's a completely avoidable thing. So, in the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And for those of us that live here in the township and want to see it flourish and grow, it's all about dreams and vision and making that happen. So I think we're on a good track. I look forward to 2026 and beyond. And so with that, God bless the Township of East Brunswick, our residents, our staff, our troops and our first responders, and of course, the United States of America.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, we're going to move on to our second presentation of the evening, and the topic of this presentation is our 2025 Community Development Block Grant. 26, sorry, did I say 25? I did. And Susan Fine is going to present that.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Hello. Tough act to follow, but try. So thank you for the opportunity to hold a public hearing at this council meeting. As was said, my name is Susan Fine, and I'm the housing specialist here in the township. This public hearing is a requirement of the Federal Community Development Block Grant, otherwise known as the CDBG program. Its purpose is to provide information, answer questions, and solicit suggestions for potential grant recipients. My goal here is to generate involvement in and establish the township's commitment to propose solutions for our community. The Community Development Block Grant is a federally funded program. The annual CDBG appropriation is allocated between states and local jurisdictions. Excluding entitlement cities, Middlesex County qualifies as an urban county with a population of 200,000 or more. So federal CDBG funding is allocated directly to Middlesex County for projects in 18 municipalities that include East Brunswick. So last year, there was a change in how they allocate funds, and they're going to continue that same allocation method. The county no longer specifies an exact amount that each municipality receives. Instead, each town can apply for up to 3 grants, and the total of those 3 grants can be up to $300,000. So it could be 1 grant for $300,000 or 3 grants, anyway, whatever works for us. While there's no guarantee that this program will be continued in this year, 2026, or that any of East Brunswick's requests will be selected, we are going to operate optimistically. So just so you know that the objectives of the CDBG program are to support community activities that benefit principally low and moderate income families and individuals, the elderly in our community, and those with disabilities. For instance, the American with Disabilities Act compliance is an approved activity. The preservation of historical sites, the eliminations of slums and blight, expansion of housing opportunities, and correction of health and safety code violations through housing rehabilitations are all eligible activities. Prior East Brunswick projects include, but aren't limited to, ADA modifications to municipal buildings and even streets and sidewalks, programs as well as transportation for the senior center, improvements to some of our historic buildings and affordable housing buildings, improvements, repairs, and capital improvements for nonprofits serving developmentally disabled, seniors, and low-income residents. All projects that are requesting funding need to be completed within 18 months of the time the grants are allocated. Otherwise, those funds may be transferred to other eligible projects. So the township welcomes comments and suggestions from the public on what we should ask for and how we should spend those funds. I can be reached either through the Planning and Engineering Department. The telephone number is 732-390-6870, or by email at sfine@eastbrunswick.org. And please note that submissions are due by March 4th. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Susan. So before we open it up to the public portion on this topic, anybody from council have any commentary or anything to add? Okay, perfect. So I'm opening it up to the public on this topic only. If you have recommendations on ways to use this funding. Okay, seeing nobody, I'm going to close the public portion. Thank you, Susan, very much. All right, next thing, we have a ordinance for a second reading, and this is ordinance 2603. Ms. Lawful.
An ordinance approving the fee schedule for the Department of Recreation, Parks, and Community Services.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion on this from the council? Okay, I'm going to open this up to the public to have discussion on this topic and this topic only. Is there anybody that would like to comment? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public portion on that. Roll call, please.
Councilman Bahal?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki?
Yes. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to our report section of the meeting, and we're going to start with the mayor's report.
I think I said enough.
You never know. All right, thank you. And Mr. Criscola, the administrator's report.
Just a shout out to our dedicated snowplow operators and our first responders for their response to the storm this weekend. Good job done by all. And as the mayor said, give us a little time when we have an event like this, and we'll get to everything. Naturally, you can call the Public Works Department with any of your concerns, but all roads were passable by noon today, and a lot of them were cleaned up. The staff went home to get much-needed rest, and they'll be cleaning up some other areas. We are expecting a little burst of snow this evening, hopefully less than an inch, and just to be careful. The salt supply in the state of New Jersey is fairly low. We're still waiting on 300 tons that we ordered 7 weeks ago, and then another 200 tons that we ordered 2 weeks ago. I do have a call into the governor's office. Some of you may know that the way salt deliveries get done, the state of New Jersey gets their deliveries first, and then counties after that, and then municipalities. So a lot of municipalities have been bumped because, the amount of salt that the state and the county utilizes to treat their roads. But something's got to give sooner or later. We need to get our supplies up all over the county, all the towns. Some towns have reverted to, removing all their salters from their trucks and sending them to the ports to pick it up. Very inefficient way because it takes so much time to take the salter off, send it back and forth a couple of times, and the cost that we pay for includes delivery. So it should be delivered to us. So we will continue to work on that. Each storm takes a lot of salt to treat 200 miles of roadway in the town. So once again, thank you to the staff for their dedication. It's much appreciated by the administration. Thank you.
Thank you. And our township attorney, Mr. Iacono.
Yes, thank you. There are two add-on resolutions this evening. Resolution 26-100 is a resolution authorizing the competitive contracting process for the operation of the food service concession at the Crystal Springs Water Park. And Resolution 2601 is a resolution authorizing use of competitive contracting as well for the operation of a vending machine concession at the East Brunswick Ice Arena. It's similar to the Ice Arena food concessionaire. Before the township puts an RFP under competitive contracting, the township has to first pass a resolution authorizing the process. In this case, one is for the vending machine at the Ice Arena. The other is the food concession at Crystal Springs. Two separate resolutions, just like the Ice Arena food concessionaire. Once the resolutions are approved, township can issue RFPs for each service, just like the Ice Arena. Same process. If anyone has questions, please let me know.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
And our township clerk's report, Ms. Lawful.
I have nothing to report. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. And council reports.
If I may.
Yes,
I just wanted to add on to what Mr. Criscuolo was saying about how our staff handled the snow. And this is probably one of the first snowfalls that I've witnessed where our township roads looked better than our county roads. And I just think that it needs to be mentioned that, the county often does a very good job, but this time around, I think we did a much better job than the county did. So, kudos to the staff. I think it was fantastic.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, perfect. We're going to move on to the public comment portion of our meeting. Ms. Lawful, do you want me to read it?
No, do you want me to move the, oh, Joe's going to
Okay,
move it before.
got it. Okay.
The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. In accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the East Brunswick Rules of Council, the council asks the public to limit their comments to 5 minutes or less. At the conclusion of the statements or questions from a member of the public, the council president, at her discretion, may choose to respond or not respond.
Okay, thank you. Opening up for public comment. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak tonight? Please, come up. Good evening. Just please state your name and address.
Troy Bailey, 16 Glen Court, East Brunswick. Two questions, keeping it simple. just kind of in general, how does the town council kind of keep the public involved in certain processes, such as the fourth round of affordable housing, redevelopment, things like that? And this other question is, when is the township going to create the ice arena utility? That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, would you like to respond to anything? You may, please, thank you.
We don't plan on creating an ice arena utility at this time. We're going to run it through the Recreation Department. We already have 5 utilities, and actually the Division of Local Government Services has been stopping some towns making specific utilities. As you know, we already have 5, and we're probably one of the highest in the state at that level. To file all the paperwork to do that, keep separate books and everything, we're just going to run it under the Recreation Department at this time. The affordable housing, you'll see on tonight's agenda, there's 6, was that Anthony? 6 ordinances for introduction this evening, which will then be referred to the planning board tomorrow evening. Myself, Councilman McAvoy sit on the planning board. Mr. Kipp will be there. So they'll be presented at the planning board meeting, and the next meeting will be the second reading. And Anthony, please correct me if I'm wrong, incorrect. This all has to be done in the March time frame, so we are under some tight time constraints.
By March 15th.
By March 15th, so that's why it's going to the planning board tomorrow night. We'll have our hearing there, and then it will be referred back to the council. Okay?
March 9th. It'll be scheduled for a public hearing,
Right,
and second reading on March 9th.
on March 9th. So that's the time you can voice your concern.
Okay, moving on. Anybody else from the public that would like to speak, please?
I'm soft from shoveling snow.
I know, take your time, Tom.
Mr. President, Mr. Mayor, I noticed that during the middle of the night, they came to snowplow my block and everything else, but when they snowplowed, they blocked the driveway with a high thing like that, and it's like ice by the time you get to do it. I don't know why they can't push it towards where you used to leave the leaves on, the property there, rather than block the driveway. The other thing is, a friend of mine's retired battalion chief in Newark Fire Department, and he brought to my attention that they block the fire hydrants with this snow also. That should be cleaned out immediately. Now, in coming here, I saw one on my block buried with a stick coming out. But what I think we should need is like a flag of it. This way you know it's a fire hydrant rather than just a stick. You think it's just a curb setting. So that should be very important, he brought to my attention, because every second means a life. And that's it. I mean, even when my mailboxes got blocked in, it's like 4 foot off the curb. Okay, the other thing is, when you're making right-hand turns, you got to go into the middle lane to make a right-hand turn, otherwise you'll swipe your side of your car with the ice that's formed there. It's not just 1, 2 turns, it's a lot of turns you got to be careful of. It's like a lane and a half, all right? And as far as the senior citizens have a blue form coming out there, I think it's the PS1 or something like that. It's a senior freeze, stay in New Jersey, and the anchor all in one shot. I got mine recently for 25 to 24. I didn't get to 25 yet, but it comes out to almost $6,000. It's quite a bit of savings. Of course, it freezes your taxes, and then it gives you the Jersey Stay and Act, which is more money. So if you get that word out to seniors, it'd be good too. And the other thing was, Comcast keeps raising their rates every year or so. I mean, there was a time I was paying $2.90, now I'm up to $4.30 or something like that. It's like you get your raise for Social Security, and you're getting an increase, and it's gone, especially with the electric bills today. And that's all I have to say. If you could help out on that, that's good. All right, thank you.
Thank you. I do believe we do offer assistance through the senior center for filling out, right? So if any seniors need help, we do offer assistance for the senior freeze, all that to be done.
And all three programs add up to a maximum of $6,500. So you can apply for whatever you qualify for. The qualification numbers, income levels are different for each one of those programs. But all three combined can't go above $6,500. But for a lot of people, that's a pretty significant savings.
100%. Okay, all right. Anybody else from the public? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public portion, and we're going to move on to our consent agenda. This will be for resolutions 2692 through 26101. 99, sorry.
Two others.
Separate, got it, okay. So we'll do the other, okay, so through 99. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second? Second. Any discussion about any of these from council? All right, roll call vote, please, thank you.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy,
Yes.
Councilman Wendell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston.
Yes.
And Council President Zimbicky.
Yes. Okay, now we'll go to Resolution 26-100. This was our add-on resolution, and this is for the RFP for Crystal Springs for the food servicing. Yes, thank you. A motion to adopt?
Sure. Can I read the title?
Oh, sorry. Yep, I missed, sorry.
I'll just read the title quickly. It's a resolution of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the use of competitive contracting process pursuant to NJSA 40A:11-4.3 for operation of food services concession at Crystal Springs Water Park.
Motion approved.
Thank you. And second? Second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Bahal?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
This is 26-100?
Yes.
Yes.
Did we deal with 2692?
We already voted on it.
Consent? Yes,
That was in consent?
yes.
Okay. My vote is yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston? Yes. And Council President Zimbicky.
Yes, thank you. Councilman McAvoy, did you want to go back and
No,
add any
good, thank you.
commentary? Okay, you're okay. All right, next add-on resolution is 26-101, and that is for the vending RFP at the ice skating rink.
A
you.
resolution of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the use of competitive contracting process pursuant to NJSA 40A:11-4.3 for operation of vending machine concession at the East Brunswick Ice Arena.
And a motion to approve.
Motion approved. Second.
Second, any discussion?
Yes, I just would like to ask, and maybe this goes to Mr. Iacocca, is this in any way conflicting with our concessionaire contract? You know, this is a vending contract, you know, does
Yeah, this
this?
is outside the scope of the ice
Okay.
concessionaire. That was
Just
awarded.
wanted confirmation on that, that's all.
Good question, though.
I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. And, yes, we need to do a vote, a roll call vote.
Councilman Bahal?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston? Yes. And Council President Zimbicky.
Yes. Okay, we have many ordinances for introduction today, so bear with us. This is going to be a long process because each needs to be read and voted on separately. So our first ordinance for introduction is 2610.
Capital ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $931,000 therefore from the Capital Improvement Fund.
Motion adopted.
And second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy.
Yes.
Councilman Wendell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston.
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki.
Yes. Okay, ordinances 2611 through 2615 deal with the utilities that were spoken about today. So we're going to start with 2611, please.
Capital ordinance appropriating $38,000 from the Utility Capital Improvement Fund to provide for various capital park and utility improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
And a motion to adopt.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Hall.
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy.
Yes.
Councilman Wendell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston.
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki.
Yes. And ordinance 2612.
Capital ordinance appropriating $71,000 from the Police Training Utility Capital Improvement Fund to provide for various police training utility improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
And second.
Second.
Second?
Second.
Swinson, thank you. And a roll call vote, please.
Councilman Bahal,
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy.
Yes.
Councilman Wendell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston.
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki.
Yes. And ordinance 2613.
Capital ordinance appropriating $130,000 from the Pool Utility Capital Improvement Fund to provide for various pool utility improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
And a motion to adopt.
So moved.
And second?
Second.
And thank you. Roll call vote?
Councilman Bahal,
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy,
Yes.
Councilman Wendell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston.
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki.
Yes. And ordinance 2614.
Capital ordinance appropriating $446,000 from the Sewer Utility Capital Improvement Fund to provide for various sewer utility improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
So moved.
And
Motion to
second?
approve.
Yep, and second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Bahal,
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy,
Yes.
Councilman Wendell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston.
Yes.
And Council President Zambiki.
Yes. And ordinance 2615.
Capital ordinance appropriating $1,835,000 from the Water Utility Capital Improvement Fund to provide for various water utility improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
And second, thank you. And roll call vote, please.
Councilman Bahal,
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy,
Yes.
Councilman Wendell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston,
Yes.
and Council President Zambiki.
Yes. Okay, we're on to ordinance 2616.
A bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $2,265,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,151,700 in bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
And second,
Second.
and discussion. Councilwoman Winston.
I'm not seeing in my packet what exactly this is for. I don't have any details unless there is none. There are none.
I'm sorry, what, which one?
For 2616, the bonding for the capital improvements for the township.
Okay.
That's the actual financing portion of it.
I was missing that. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Oh, okay.
And if I may, just.
Yes.
All of those, and this is just for clarification, all of those ordinances that we just voted on, that we're taking fees from our utilities for capital improvements, are all budget numbers derived from our.
Capital improvement plan, yes.
Right, and from the planning
From
and
the
engineering
utility,
department, that you know, we're still going to go out to bid on these.
Absolutely.
And we will be authorizing contracts at a later date for all of these.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
I was just, I wanted to make a point of clarity, that's all.
Yeah, you know, since the mayor and I came, we've do an extensive 5-7 year capital improvement plan, and so we kind of put out on our charts what trucks we're going to get, what items we're going to get, what roads we do in the fall with Keith and various water and sewer projects. Yeah, so that's a fluid, everything, we've done this for the last 8 years now.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to make a
Yep.
point of clarity to the public that these numbers, being all round numbers, are not the real numbers. This is what we're authorizing. to
For
be-
capital improvement, yes.
Yes.
It's state law for any capital projects that we come to this council via an ordinance to get approval to have the administration to move on those projects.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So I think we need a roll call vote.
Councilman Hall,
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy,
Yes.
Councilman Wendell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston.
Yes.
And Council President Zimbicki.
Yes. All right, ordinance 2617.
A bond ordinance providing for various water utility improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $2,250,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,250,000 in bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof.
And just to highlight this, this was something that the mayor was talking about today, that we already received $1.5 million in grant money for this project. So that was already approved by this council. Do I have a motion to adopt? And to-
Second.
Thank you. And roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy,
Yes.
Councilman Wendell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston.
Yes.
And Council President Zimbicki.
Yes. Okay, ordinance 2618.
An ordinance approving the fee schedule for the East Brunswick Ice Arena.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
And second.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion?
Just
Yeah.
discussion. This is our first year operating. These will be reviewed, assumably, toward the end of the year, and another fee schedule potentially proposed for next year.
Absolutely. And it's based on being competitive with other rinks in the area, so Gary, that worked with us on the rink, you know, knows the industry. We went around and charted that. One thing that he suggested is like a 10-session plan, so people buy 10, you know, open skates at a time. It was also sent to the rec committee for their approval prior to this. But we do this with all our fees every year in the recreation department, and I certainly have no intention of changing that. It's a good practice.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Winston.
I would just also like to add, I know we're in our infancy with this and we're just starting out, but in the future, from a management standpoint, if we can consider some givebacks to the community, not necessarily in discounts, but maybe in the form of a community free skate, certain amount of bank of hours on every Sunday when it's open, or whenever makes sense to do. If we, I think it would be a good idea to consider that as just a small give back to our residents. And not necessarily discounts, but just free skate. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
It's a novel idea, but then you have to kind of ID everybody that comes. So I know neighboring towns have done it, which requires the kids to have their student ID from the school system. And if they go to a TIFA or Catholic school, it's a little bit more difficult, but we could certainly look into that in the future.
Thank you.
We plan on working with I've had discussions with Dana and the PTAs that are already interested in doing end of the year party there or a holiday thing there and so on. But that'd be more of a party room situation, but we're certainly open to that as we ramp up. Just getting the staff to where we need to be is been a challenge. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. you want me to? Yes. All right, roll call vote, I got it. Councilman Bahal?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
And Council President Zimbicki, yes. Okay, moving on to our last one, which is 2619. May I continue to read for you?
I think I got it.
Are you sure? Okay.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Township Code, Chapter 150, nuisances, public health, by establishing a new Article 8 entitled Intentional Release of Balloons.
Motion to adopt.
Thank you. And second,
Second.
any discussion?
This is
Yes.
something we discussed a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we discussed this, and once again, some shore communities have really been hot on this because they've seen marine animals wash up, and when they dissect them, that they find that there's balloons in their digestive systems. This was brought back to us through the Environmental Commission. You know, we have a very active Environmental Commission, and they've asked for this, and I think it's a great idea.
I'm glad to see that we're finally doing it.
Okay, good.
Thank
you.
Absolutely.
All right, roll call vote.
Councilman Paul?
Yes.
Councilman McAvoy?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
And Council President Zimbicki.
Yes. And council, for the good of the cause. Okay, just a couple things. This Saturday is the 17th annual My Buddy, My Ball All-Star Game, which will be at Churchill from 12 to 3 p.m. There is also a Dine to Donate on February 25th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the McDonald's on the southbound part of the southern Route 18 South, and that goes to our Daisy Association. And last, on March 8th at 4 p.m. at the Trinity Presbyterian Church, there is an event called the Afternoon of Strings, which is co-hosted by the East Brunswick Symphony Orchestra and the East Brunswick Education Association. A portion of the profits will go to the EBEA Scholarship Fund, which awards a scholarship for a high school senior majoring in education for $2,400. So that's what I have. Anybody else? And do I have a motion to adjourn? Okay, all in favor? Aye. All right, thank you all. See you on March 9th.
Thanks, everybody.